I'm going to talk about pot dahlias, pot dahlia tubers, what their place is in the scheme of things and why they're special, how to use them, how to get the best from them. So here is our delivery of pot dahlia tubers from Halls of Heddon, a specialist dahlia supplier in the UK. As you can see, they've been lovingly packed. They try to avoid plastic as best they can, and each of these has been hand packed and with great care. This particular one is Clearview Audrey. They're just beginning to dry out a little bit there. I've had them now for about 2 weeks. I'd probably put some water on, but I'm going to plant them today. So this one, I've had a look at them when they first arrived to make sure they were all in good condition. And this one, delicately wrapped, as you can see. This particular one, Hillcrest Jersey. So you can see each tuber is small, compact, and what they've done to prepare this is that they've grown a dahlia plant in a small pot as such. So this has gone through its yearly life cycle as a dahlia. It doesn't matter that it produces few flowers. What we're aiming for at the end of the day is a pot tuber. Now the whole point of a pot tuber is that we're going to do it today. We will plant this up and get it started by keeping it warm, by giving it water, and by putting it under light, and it will start to produce shoots. Now the very fact that it's a pot tuber means that it will, for good biological reasons, produce more shoots than a dahlia that's not been prepared in this way. So it's small, compact, doesn't look like much at the moment, but that will produce, with a bit of luck, something between 8 and 12 shoots, each of which we will take and propagate into a new dahlia. So the whole point of having pot dahlia tubers is to propagate and make more plants. You could, if you wished, just plant this tuber in the ground and it will give you a dahlia. That's fair enough. Speaking to the guys at Halls, they say that people often do just that. They think, oh, pot dahlia, I'll buy some of those and put them in pots and they'll give me a nice dahlia, which indeed they will. But that's not the point of a pot dahlia. If you're going to grow ordinary dahlias, then you can buy sets of ordinary tubers which you can put in your pot and will grow nicely. These are for producing cuttings. I'm going to use a general purpose, multi-purpose, heat-free compost. I just happen to like this. I don't like that they put fertiliser in it, which certainly you don't need for doing cuttings. But the consistency of this particular one, it's just the best I've found anyway of the heat-free. I'm going to mix around 2/3 of the compost with 1/3 of vermiculite, which gives some extra drainage. Getting all the bits out. This is how they put the fertilizer in, little globules. This is Miracle-Gro, little globules of fertilizer. Some of them blue, some of them brownish. They won't really do any harm. They won't do any harm to the dahlia cuttings anyway. I don't think seeds like having too much fertilizer around. but we seem to get on all right with this stuff, so we'll keep going. Many peat frees are really real pigs of consistency. Some that feel like old carpet and smell like it as well, actually. A few handfuls of vermiculite. Possibly put some more in, but I'm running short of vermiculite, so this will do for these dahlias. We'll make sure that the medium is damp enough. Water. Difficult to say just how damp it can be, really, in describing dampness. I think it should be such that if you squeeze it, you don't get drips for this particular application. So it feels nice and damp. It's beginning to sort of cling to itself. I like to water using a tray, to put pots, for instance, in a tray of water so that they can take up the water themselves, but because we're using a big tray, I haven't got a suitable vessel to put them in, so we're going to water first of all like this, and then over the top as it needs more. Firm it up a bit, no big deal. So this is about, what, 3 inches deep, something like that, 8 or 9 centimeters, and it's fairly firm. So we have here 3 tubers, Hillcrest Jersey, I'm going to soak these tubers in a bucket of water because they're quite dry. So in preparing the tubers to be planted, the first step is to clean them up. Careful not to lose track of the names. So here we have the tuber. They supply them with some soil surrounding them, and with the old roots, last year's roots, still intact. this helps preservation, helps to prevent drying out. And before we plant them, we need to clean them up, take all the scraggly roots away, and then the tuber will be ready for planting. So we'll get on with that now outside. So outside now we will wash the tubers with a hose pipe. Get the soil off. You don't have to get all the soil off, but you do have to be able to see the roots, because we're going to trim those roots off the next step. Job done. Back inside now, we're going to trim these roots away. These are last year's roots. Some new roots will emerge from the tubers. Looking out for any rotten parts. They go soft and darker in colour usually. These are all fine. This darker part here is the mother tuber. And we can take that as last year's tuber, which has grown to produce all these new tubers. Already. And now we just plant up. So we lay the tuber into the soil with about a third of its showing, with the old stem uppermost. Firm it down a bit. Appear a little crowded out. That's no bad thing. The plant, we want these tubers now to put all their energy into producing shoots rather than roots. So it's okay for them to be crowded. And there we are, hopefully all set. We'll put those now onto the heating mat at 20 degrees centigrade. I put it a little lower, but the thermostat won't go any lower than 20. And the final stage is to put them on the propagator heating mat. Off camera I just put some water over the top to settle the tubers in a little. So here we have 10 tubers, and with some luck we'll get between 6 and 12 cuttings from each. So 10 tubers that will give us, I hope, at least 60 plants, 60 cuttings to take through to each one a full dahlia next year.